Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Shabib Chaudhary and I am from 47 batch, Section A, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. My ID number is 191115031. And today I'm going to give a presentation about the graph topic of data structure. So let us get started. First of all, we have the introduction of graph. So what is graph? A graph is a nonlinear data structure. It consists of nodes and edges. Nodes are also called vertices and edges are also called lines or arcs. So then we have types of graphs. We have non-directed and directed graph. So as we can see, there are difference. Then in the directed graph, there are direction from one vertex to another vertex, which we doesn't have in the non-directed graph. We can also call it a simple graph. Then we go to the weighted graph. Weighted graph is an also directed graph. Then it shows the cost from going to one vertex to another. So we can see here the cost from going to vertex A to vertex B is 3. And from vertex D, A to vertex D is 5, and so on. Then we have multigraph. Why it is called so? Because we say there are multiple edges connecting the vertices B and C. And there is a loop in the vertex D and connecting it with itself. Applications of graph. So we can use graph to represent networks such as telephone or circuit network. It can be used in social media such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social networks. Then it can also be used to represent distance between cities. So below is a real life example of graph. So we see here that in this graph there are distance. It represents the distance between the divisional cities of Bangladesh. In kilometer, you can see that distance between Dhaka to Sylhet is 243.3 kilometer, and distance between Dhaka to Chattogram is 248.4 kilometer. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. The two commonly used representations of graph. The two are adjacency list and adjacency matrix. Now let's start with the list. So here is a graph with 5 vertices. Adjacency list. An array of lists is used. Size of the array is equal to the number of vertices. Let the array be R. An entry array of I represents the list of vertices adjacent to the ith vertex. This representation can also be used to represent a weighted graph. The weights of edges can be represented as lists of pairs. So here in the vertex A, it has edges connecting it with the vertices B, C, and E. And vertex B had edges connecting it with the vertices A and C, and so on. Then we move to adjacency matrix. So what is it? Adjacency matrix is 2D array of size V into V. It means a square matrix where V is the number of vertices in a graph. Let the 2D array be adjacent. A slot adjacent of Ij is equal to 1. Indicates that there is an edge from vertex I to vertex j. If the slot is equal to 0, then there is no edges connecting the vertex I and vertex j. Adjacency matrix for undirected graph is always symmetric. So let's see here. The rows and columns represent the vertices and nodes respectively. So here we can see that vertex A doesn't have any nodes connecting it with itself, but it has edges connecting it with the vertices B, C, and D. B, C, and E, and also it doesn't have any connection with the vertex D. Then we move to the vertex B. It has edges connecting it with the vertices A, C, A and C, and doesn't have any connection with the vertices B, D and E, and so on. So, what are the pros and cons of adjacency matrix? Pros. In adjacency matrix, representation is easier to implement and follow. And removing an edge from it takes big O of one time. Cons. Consumes more spaces, big O, V square. And adding a vertex to the graph is big O, V square time. Our next topic is BFS, or breadth first search. The BFS is a graph traversing algorithm that uses queue data structure. It means the first in, first out, and last in, last out. A standard BFS implementation puts each vertex into one of the two categories. One, visited, and another two, non-visited. The purpose of the algorithm is to make each vertex as visited while avoiding cycles. Then traversing steps. 1. Start with the root node. 2. Mark the node as visited. 3. Insert the root node in the queue. 4. Dequeue the front node from the queue and enqueue the adjacent nodes of the front node. Repeat enqueuing and dequeuing the nodes from the queue until all of the nodes are visited once only. Here we have an example of the breadth first search. So we have a graph of 5 vertices, and we didn't visit, in the first step we didn't visit any vertex yet. In the second step we start with the vertex A. So as it is visited, we put one under it, and the other vertices are remain 0. And in queue we have vertices B, C and D. In third step, B is visited, so we put 1 under it. So we have C and D left in the queue. The fourth step, C is visited. So we put 1 under it, and we have D and U in the queue. Moving to the fifth step. Now the vertex D is visited. So we put here 1, and we only have the vertex E remaining in the queue. And last but not least, in the sixth step, we visit the vertex E, and we put 1 here. So now all of the vertices are visited, and the queue gets empty. Next, we have the depth first search, or DFS in short. The DFS is a graph traversing algorithm that uses stack data structure. Rules for traversing. Visit the adjacent unvisited vertex, mark it as visited, display it, push it in a stack. 2. If no adjacent vertex is found, pop up a vertex from the stack. It will pop up all the vertices from the stack which do not have adjacent vertices. 3. Repeat rule number 1 and 2 until the stack is empty. Now here we have an example of the DFS algorithm. So we have a graph of 5 vertices S, A, B, C and D, and we have an empty stack. So first we start with the vertex S and put it as visited, and put the S in the stack. Then we can explore if there are an unvisited vertices connecting with S. We say there are 3. So we start with A. Now we mark A as visited and put it in stack. Then we see if there are any unvisited vertex connecting it. So we have D. So then we visit to D and put it in the stack. And we can see there are two unvisited vertices connecting with D. In the fifth step, we visit D and mark it as visited and put it in the stack. I beg your pardon. I mean, we move to vertex B and mark it as visited and then put it in the stack. And after that, we find that there are no unvisited vertices connecting with B. So we remove B from the stack. So here we have removed B and then moved back to D. And in the following step, we find that only the C is the unvisited. So we mark C as visited and find out if there are any unvisited vertices left. So after putting C visited, we put it in the stack. And now we have seen that there are no unvisited vertices remaining. So we keep popping the stack until we find a node that has an unvisited adjacent node. In this case, there is none, and we keep popping until the stack is empty. Thank you for your time. I'm presenting this graph. A graph consists of nodes and edges. Nodes are also called vertices, and edges are also called